Hello there, everyone. My name is Peter Negi, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Today, this I will be doing my first live stream, and unfortunately, this is my last video on PTC Creo Sketch. So, you can also check my previous videos in my YouTube channel. Let me just show you my channel. Shit. Okay, so you can always check out those videos which I have uploaded here. As you can see, installation to Creo setting for the first time, how you can set the default template, how you can customize your template to the sketch, and you can see those previous 3 videos. So I have created this playlist which name as Learn Creo from Zero. So you can start from very basic, how you can install and download the software, and how you can do setting part, and then the template and all these things. Okay, so this is my third video on Creo Sketch and gonna be the last one. And in this video, we're gonna be covering the the dimension and the inspection part. In our last video, we talked about the constraint and editing tools. As you can see, I have mentioned the topics in thumbnail as well. Now onward, we will be doing regular live streaming, and we talk about several topics including PTC Creo and about various new technologies which I know and I am focused on, and I have so much interest on. So now, without wasting further more time, let's get started. So I have just opened the Creo, but let's just open it again. It's pretty simple. You always need to launch the Creo parametric, yes. So whenever you are running Creo and you are very new to Creo, you need to run the Creo parametric application, because when we install Creo, we have got several others application. For example, Creo Simulate, Creo View Express. So in order to run Creo, we need to run Creo parametric. Now here, let's just wait. Now this is our first screen. You may also find some kind of browser or pop screen that appear, but in my case I have just disabled them. Now let's go to new and part, solid, and we can give any name to it. For example, sketch. Also, when we type some name in PTC Creo, we cannot provide space, because whenever we try to give space, it shows an error. So in case of because sometimes we need to write the name of our part in 2 or 3 words, then we can use underscore to differentiate between those words. Let's say, for example, sketch my, or we can write anything, sketch 1. Now I will leave my default template as it is, and because we already have discussed about these things, so let's just focus on the constraint, on the remaining part. Now here we came, and let's just enable these datum planes. Now sketch, I have selected the front right, the front, I guess this is the right, okay, the right datum plane, and now we will see these 2 groups. Uh, let's take an example of let's say a triangle. Now we have got automatic dimension, but in certain scenario we need to create our own manual dimension. So in that case we have got this tool, and it is quite handy. For example, I want to create the length dimension here. So I will be clicking on dimension and then select the side of it, and boom, you can see we have created our own dimension. Now you can also differentiate between these two here, because this one is have a color of royal blue and this one have a color of sky blue. This also shows like this dimension is strong, which mean, like, for example, if you gonna make any kind of change here, so this will be the last dimension which gonna be affected. Or if you make any change, for example, let's make it 75, so this dimension will be as it is until and unless you manually change it like this by dragging and dropping. Or you also have option of locking, like you can lock your dimension. Now for this here we're gonna talk about the dimension tool first of all. So with this tool you not only can make the linear dimension like length, you can also make dimension like distance here, and you can also make angle dimension, like here we have made the angle dimension. Now you can see as we are creating our own dimension, the software is smart enough to not to over constrain our entity, our geometry, and the Creo itself will delete the weak dimension, and it is replacing it with the strong dimension that we are creating. And you have option to lock some dimension. For example, like the value of this particular angle need to be 70, so you can lock it as well. Now again, so we can do anything with this tool. Now here, for example, this is the dia, and okay, so let's say for example I want to convert it to radius, so just you need to click on it, and here we can see it got converted to radius. And you can also have a linear dimension available for this. So you have got several options. Linear dimension is nothing but just a diameter. Now let us take an example of arc. Now here you can see this is arc, and again we can convert arc to the diameter. And also, let's say for example you want to calculate the arc length, or you want to give the value in terms of arc length, then what we can do, just press Control and left click here and another left click here, and press the mouse scroll wheel above, and you will see this dimension. And again, now let's say for example we need arc length. This is the linear distance, linear value between these 2 points. Now let's click here. Okay, I guess we need to do it again. Click on this and click on the whole arc. I guess we missed this step. And then these 2 vertex, and click here, and here we go. As we can see here, the value is the arc length, and we can also modify this value. For example, we need only 400, and here we have got the dia, so we can modify both values. So this was our dimension tool, and we can see with the help of this we can change we can give the length dimension, we can create the distance dimension, we can create angle, we can create radius, dia, we can create this arc length. So this is a kind of universal tool. Now I hope this is clear to you guys. So I'm just deleting these all entities and let's just create the references again. If you have got any doubt, you can always ask me in comment, and because right now we are live, so you can simply type in the comment bar and I can instantly reply to your query. Now let's talk about the parameter now. Parameter. Now what basically the parameter tool does, it calculates the parameter of the entities. It may be 3, it may be 4, it may be 5, but the line segments would be in a kind of continuous. So now let's just select these entities. Okay, now we're gonna press the middle button, or we can click on OK, and now middle mouse button. So it would be better like we're gonna press the middle mouse button. So we have selected the entities. As you can see here, the message bar also telling us like select geometries whose total will be governed by the parameter dimension. Now we're gonna click, we're gonna press the scroll wheel, and now here you can see in message bar there is a message, select the dimension to be driven by the parameter dimension. Now I'm gonna make this dimension as a driven dimension, and now you can see our parameter is 1015, and we can also change it and define it. Let's say for example I'm gonna make it 1050, and you can see all the variation will occur on the variable dimension because we have created this dimension as a variable which can be varied, and we can modify these values. And you can see it is something like a equation a plus b plus c equal to constant, and the constant value is our parameter, which is 1050. So if you sum these three, you're gonna get this one, and in this way we can fix one entity which is our parameter, and we can create one variable and we can modify other entity, and in this way the variable value will change by maintaining this condition which we have described as a plus b plus c equal to 1050, sorry. Now that's all about the parameter. I'm so sorry, sometimes I'm creating problem because this is my first live stream. I will take care for my next one. I will try to improve myself. Now let's forget that thing and let's talk about the third thing, which is baseline. Now let's just take an example again. Let's say for example this is these are several line segments, and I want to provide ordinate dimension. As we know, or sometimes ordinate dimension are much better compared to the normal way of dimensioning, and the reason behind is the clarity and easiness, and we take one point as a reference. So here let's take an example. So first of all we need to click on baseline, and now we're gonna make this point as a baseline, and I want to create a baseline in vertical direction. So now you can see we have created a baseline dimension in vertical direction. Now we need to show the location in horizontal direction. Now we need to click again on dimension, and this time we need to click to this ordinate first of all, and then press control and select all the points which you want to, dimension, which you want to create a new dimension. And you need to press on your scroll wheel, and you can see all the dimensions has been created. And in a similar way, we can also create dimension in y-axis. So this was all about the baseline dimension. Again, we can create the same as in horizontal, which means we're gonna dimension the vertical values, and again the process is also similar. Click on dimension and select the 0 value or this one, and then you can indicate whichever point you want to. Let's say, for example, I'm gonna give the 3 values only, and here we go. We have created these 3 ordinate dimension. Now also you can click on dimension again. Let's say, for example, you left some values and you want to give it again, then again click on dimension and select this ordinate dimension and press control, and here we go. So here we can see some kind of over constraining. So let's undo this and let's try to do it again. Dimension, select this one and select this one and click here, and now you can see we have successfully created it again. Now this is the reference. We can create any dimension as a reference dimension, but here, because we have added we have converted all the dimension as a full dimension, so it's not going to create the reference. So here you can see we can create a reference dimension as well, and the way is very simple, like a normal dimension. The only difference is, like, we have an option of creation of a reference dimension. I don't know, generally we only take one, but we can create more than one, as we have seen. Now I guess we have covered all the tool that is in the dimension option or dimension group. Now let's talk about the inspection tools. Now let me just show you what these tools all about. Now, because here we are making a feature, so the feature requirement tool asks, like, what is the necessary prerequisite to complete this feature. Now let's just delete all these entities, and if I click on feature requirement, then we can see it is showing us the problem. Like, the problem or the requirement is that the section must contain the geometric entities, and here we can see we haven't created any entity, so it is showing us problem. And as soon as we create entity, and now you can see the section, the first and the foremost prerequisite was to create a section, and the section should have geometric entities. Now we have added entities, so we have successfully created a sketch, although it may be practically a kind of infeasible, depending on our situation, the requirement. Now I'm just gonna delete this one. Okay, so let's just take another example, or we will be talking about the feature requirement, maybe in case of extrude as well. I will be showing you this. Let's just take extrude this time, and now we have created this entity. Now as we know, for extrude we need to create a closed section or closed region so that we can extrude that entity, but here our region is not closed, so it is showing us a warning. Now the difference between the warning and the error is it is still possible to extrude this entity, but the shape that will form it would be a surface. Now here we can see it shows as error. If I click on surface, then it should be extruded, as you can see here. Now if I want to extrude it as a solid, so I will not able to do that because the entity does not form a closed loop or closed region. Now let's just try to close this, and now click on feature requirement. So we can see here the section must contain geometric entities. This one, check text entities are not allowed. We haven't added any text. And the feature specific requirement, we meet all the feature specific requirement. So now we will see how we forget to change it to solid, and we were able to form the solid this time. Now let's talk about other things. Now this one is to check overlapping geometry. For example, by mistake we have created here a extra part or extra line segment which we are not able to see. So if we enable this feature, then you can see the Creo is capable enough, smart enough to tell, like, here you have created some problem. Now this line is also highlighted because of the same point here, the point of coincidence where we have got this line also merged at that point of coincidence. Now we can try to then we will try to find out the open section or the extra line, and then here we can see, and we can delete it. Now you can see the error got rectified. So these are helping tools for us, whether it is feature requirement or object overlapping or entity overlapping. Now let's just talk about the other tool, which is known as show open end. For example, in this case here, you can see the gap between these both entities is very less, so which is not visible to normalize. And when we create some kind of intricate sketch, in that situation it will be really tough to find out the open end. So this feature will help us to find out the open end. Now I'm gonna enable it, and you can see here we can easily find like the part which having open end, and then we can zoom in and fix this up like this. Or maybe we can delete this previous constraint. Let's just select constraint, delete, and again all sketcher, coincident and coincident. That's great. Now this option, as I told you, help us to find the open ends. And now the last option that left in inspection is the tool which which enable us to differentiate between the open entities or open areas or closed areas. Now if I enable this, then here you can see we can differentiate between both. The closed part is shaded and the open part isn't shaded, and as soon as we're gonna close it, now you can see the both parts are shaded now. And again, now here we have formed a line entity which cross this closed part. Again, you can see now this is not shaded again, and as soon as we move this entity out of this closed part, and you can see again our our part is shaded again, our entity is shaded again. So that's all guys from my side in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I was able to explain you these concepts of dimension and inspection groups. And if yes, then please do like and subscribe to my channel, and you can also support me in Patreon. And if you contact me, you can make a comment in description. And if you have got any kind of suggestion for me, any kind of query, question, then always you can make a comment and ask me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your time, and have a nice day, and bye bye. See you soon.